Hi, I'm gonna fix where the camera's at, but, welcome to the video. I know I missed yesterday, but you know what? I don't care. I was busy hanging out with friends. I actually had a social life yesterday. I don't know why I'm speaking so fast. Let's get into the video. I gotta tell you what the video is about. Well, I could do that later. Get into the video. Okay, so, I did the millennial pause, didn't I? Oh god. Anyways. Okay, sorry, this is a little bit of a side note. I think the millennial pause exists because cameras used to not immediately record the first, until the counter hit 1, because the amount of times I started videos and had to restart them because the counter did not hit 1. And then it didn't get the first part of what I said. So, fun fact for you about that. Anyways, so at the beginning of this year, I elected to read a specific amount of books, and I didn't. I still have 9 books left, and, I, for whatever reason, added 4 books to that, and then I kept reading books I bought throughout the year just because those interested me more, and, I will put in a picture of the books I have read this year, and the books I have left for this year. This year's almost over. But anyways, I do actively plan to change which books I'm going to read next year, because I feel like bringing these over to next year just to begin the year is really not great, and I think that for whatever reason I'm going to turn into a symbolic little thing of it's not bringing stuff over from next year type of ordeal, I guess. Will I read those books if I finish the books I have set out for next year? Absolutely, I will absolutely read those books. Oh, I have 10 books left. Ha! One of them's right next to me. Whoopsies. Anyways, I decided I wanted to show you guys the books I have set out for myself to read next year. And I might make an update thing next year, near the end of the year, to be like, hey, did I finish these books? If not, how many of them did I end up reading? So let's start. They're all in this purple thing I've had for years. I just hit myself in the face. So, to start it out, we are going to be reading the second manga that is in the My Hero Academia series, because I have read the first one that was on this year's thing. If you didn't see that, I'll put that again here. And I did get that this year. I also got the third one, which I will as well be reading this year because I want to. I do want to read these. I think read about half of this, but then I was like, okay, we're gonna restart it because I can't. It got a little I don't know how to explain it, but this was kind of near the end of my Hero Academia hyperfixation, but at the same time I don't think I was hyperfixated on it still. But I do have these. I'm gonna read them next year. These are gonna be the first 2 things I read because they will be the easier ones for me to read, to get through and read type of ordeal. I do have to cater to my own ADHD and autism. So, next book is this book. I took off the cover. Don't ask why. I don't know where the cover is. I did in fact paint this part green, and I'll tell you why. It is called Once Upon a Toad. I read this as a child. I got it from the library. I don't remember if it was the teen section or if it was the kids section or something. Interesting. Apparently I already started it. I know that much. I never finished it. I finished it as a kid and I loved it. It was my favorite book. I read it 4 or 5 times. And then a bunch of other stuff happened. It was kind of a weird, funky thing. But I got it from the library the first time and the other 3 times. And loved it. And I started thinking about it a few years ago, but I couldn't for the life of me remember the name of the book. And then suddenly, last year, I was like, oh my god, she threw up frogs, and her sister threw diamonds or flowers or something. It was both, by the way. And I googled it. I finally thought to Google everything I could about those details, and I found it. And I did start reading it. I got pretty decently into it, I think. It is, of course, a kid's book, if not a preteen type of book. But I am so excited to read this again. Oh my god. My favorite book. I do love the very thought of it. It's very silly. And again, I'm so excited to read it. Hold on. Yeah, that's right. Now here is the little funky little plan I have, because this is probably too soon for that, but the other books I kind of just don't want to read before this. This book. The Complete Sherlock Holmes. It is in fact the entirety of the Sherlock Holmes series by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. And I am so excited. I've had this book since I want to say 2017. I think is when I got it, because I hyperfixated on Sherlock, and I have in fact hyperfixated on Sherlock again, and yes, I'm talking about the BBC Sherlock. I got a Sherlock Holmes puzzle case game that I cannot play because I am not smart enough for that. 12-year-old me wasn't even smart enough for that, but whatever. And I did buy this book, and it is so big. I think I read the first 3-ish pages of it, and then that was near the end of I got this book near the end of my Sherlock hyperfixation, and I didn't realize it at the time because I didn't know what they were before. I didn't know they were hyperfixations because I was a kid. I was undiagnosed, and I just recently got diagnosed. Do I know why I'm talking this fast? No. But here we are. Anyways, I'm going to read the entirety of this. Now, the question is, how long is this going to take me to read? I don't know, but I am pretty excited about this. It has 1,077 pages, and I don't think all of the stories are in order, so that's kind of been bothering me because I did look it up and it didn't seem to be in chronological order. Kind of bothered me. I don't know if it's in publishing order or what, but it has every single story, and I'm so excited. Now, the next book. I have read this one before. I didn't cry. I didn't care much for it. It was a good book, but for me, it was a read one time thing, but I do want to try and read it again. Is They Both Die in the End. I hate this cover. Whoever made this cover, why? It's just, why? Anyways, I have in fact read this book. It wasn't like a horrible book or anything. It really wasn't. I liked the thought. I liked the thought of the book. I love how, it was, the storyboard was played out. You know, I love quite a bit of things about this book. It's just, for me, it wasn't my kind of book type of ordeal. But I am going to read it again. I do want to see if maybe my opinions change on it, because I got it when it was, really popular on TikTok. And I want to say that was, 2 years ago. So I think it's been a while since I've read this. Sorry, had to sneeze. So I do want to reread this. This is in fact added to my list. And yes, it's a shorter book. You would think, why don't you read this before the Complete Sherlock Holmes series? Because the Sherlock Holmes one seems more interesting than these next few books. But I do still want to read these next few books, if not reread them. The next book, Rebel Robin. I think I keep getting through the first chapter, the first 2 chapters, and then I'm like, okay, I'm bored. And I got this, I listened to the podcast already, okay? Because I thought it was the audiobook, then I learned it wasn't, and it was the, accompanying podcast or whatever. I don't know what that means, if somebody wants to explain that to me, but I got this book, and I love Robin, my favorite character in Stranger Things. Oh my god. And I was, a minor hyperfixated, ooh, wow, words. I had a minor hyperfixation on Stranger Things for about a month, which is one of my shorter ones, but still not the shortest ones, because I've had them for had little hyperfixations for days, a week, 2 weeks, but months are usually some of the shorter ones and the more common ones I get. But this one, I have rewatched the show a few times. I didn't finish my rewatch of the latest season. I think I have the last episode left, but I really, really want to read this. So it is added to the list, and just like with the Complete Sherlock Holmes thing, why isn't it before that? Why isn't it in that before area of the Complete Sherlock Holmes? Because that seems more interesting, and I don't know if it's because I'm hyperfixated on Sherlock again or not. But this is going to be that next book. Okay. Oh my god. This stack is going to fall. It is so uneven. Now, the next book after that, Radium Girls. It is I think it's an autobiography. I don't know if it's an autobiography or, oh my god, another one I've started already. I got 2 pages? Oh, okay. I guess I only got 2 pages into it. But, I don't remember if it is a autobiography or if it's autobiography. Okay, so if anybody remembers what an autobiography or a biography is called, but it's like fiction based on real life. I don't remember what it's called, but it's one of those types of stories. And I got it originally when I was in Reading Girls as one of my senior year shows. It was my senior year play, and it was the only show I acted in my senior year. I was the stage manager for my senior musical, my final senior show. I got this because I really liked the story, and I loved it. I loved the idea. I loved I loved the concept of it. Like, I wanted to learn more about it, essentially. And then I never read it. So I'm very excited to read this. Learn more about the Radium Girls, that type of ordeal. But yeah. The next books. It's, in fact, the complete Percy Jackson series. The complete Percy Jackson series. This is not out of order, by the way. This is, in fact, the order. It's just the way that it shows up on camera. But I listened to the first book, and it was for an English class for an extra credit assignment that I never ended up turning in because it was boring. Not the book, but like just the very I couldn't really do it properly, and I was just like, okay, it's only an extra credit thing. It's not required, so I didn't do it. But I want to read the first book, and I do want to read the rest of the books, but I had so many people at one point telling me, you should read the Percy Jackson series, you should read the Percy Jackson series, the Percy Jackson series is so good, you should read it. And my neurodivergent brain was like, no. But I do want to read it. I really, really do. It looks so cool, so interesting, so I'm going to try and read it. Again, I don't know how many of these books I'm going to finish. I don't even know if I'm going to read the Sherlock Holmes one in its entirety. But very excited about this. That was the video I had planned for today. I hope you all enjoyed it. Yeah, that's all. Happy holidays.